Good morning, class. How you guys doing today? Just coming off the weekend. Chris, what'd you do this weekend?
I played baseball.
Baseball, how'd you guys do?
We did good.
Nice. Ella, what'd you do this weekend?
I played with my sister a lot.
Play with your sister? Did you have fun? All right, that's what it's about. Michael, what'd you do this weekend?
I played baseball, and then I hanged out with my friends after practice and the games.
You guys win?
Yeah, but we're also like a young team playing in the older division. So
Your young team playing older division.
but we're still doing good.
Very good. Nico.
I played lots of baseball.
Nico, can you stand up and get a little straightened up, all right? I want you to be engaged, buddy. I want to see some life from you guys, all right? Today, what are we going to be discussing? This is one of my passions. Guys, we're talking about U.S. history. U.S. history. How did we become U.S. history? Well, today's lesson is going to be on how did people, or the big picture is to understand why people wanted to leave their homeland, and I'm talking about England, France, Spain, the Dutch. Why would they want to come to this new land, or this newfound land that they knew nothing about? So what I've done is you guys are going to collaborate together, and I've written my answer to this question. Chris and Ella, you guys are going to be answering. Why did people from England want to come to America, to the New World? Okay? You guys are going to brainstorm, think together. You're going to put it inside here. My answer is in there. Nico and Michael, your question is, what did people from Europe risk by coming to America? I want you two to brainstorm. Come up with a list of ideas and put it inside here. Now, these are their textbooks. Right now, the materials that they have is they have textbooks. We would be having Chromebooks as well and iPads, but for today's lesson, I want to know what your knowledge is. So what I want to know is, first and foremost, you've heard the saying, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? Now, did Columbus really find America? No. When I was in school, I was told, yeah, Columbus founded America, right? But what did he really find? Michael?
We found the Caribbean, like with the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico.
He found what back then yes, called the West Indies. Now, exactly correct. He found the Caribbean islands. Okay? After more people came and more people came, if you were the king of Spain, Chris, what would be your reasoning? You're the king of Spain. Why would you want to come to this newfound land? What would that do to your empire? If you come and you conquer new land, what is it going to do to the Spanish Empire?
Build it, make it bigger.
It would build it and make it bigger. So the beliefs that they have, whether it's Christianity or practicing Catholicism, okay, whether it's for trading, trying to make their empire bigger, okay? And that is why these countries had people come to this newfound land. Even though we've been told in our older textbooks, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So you two guys are going to collaborate, all right, on that question. You two are going to collaborate on that question. But the big picture for this lesson is to really understand why people wanted to leave their homeland. Okay? You're living in France. You're living in England, Nico. Why would you want to come to some land that you know nothing about? There's got to be some reasons. Okay? And that's what you guys are going to be writing down, and both of your questions kind of intertwine a little bit. And I don't want to get too deep, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about what you already know, okay? So, just off the top of your heads, I'd like to know, if you're living in England, Michael, and somebody says to you, you can get on a boat, you can go to this new country, and you can start a new life, okay? What would be some reasons why you would want to leave where you are right now?
Because I want more lands.
Okay, more land. So maybe it's the poorer people that came to America from England, right? What about if you wanted to practice your own religion, Ella? What religion are you?
What do you mean?
What religion do you practice? Do you go to church?
I do.
Okay. And if you go to church and say you are you Catholic? Are you Baptist? Do you know what you go to? What type of church? Chris? Catholic. You go to a Catholic church, right? What about if somebody in England says to you, you can't be a Catholic. You have to be Protestant. Okay? They're telling you what type of religion you have to be. Would that be a reason for leaving that land to come?
Yes.
All right, those are the things I want you to think about. Okay, I'm trying to give you a couple little clues. I want you guys to collaborate right now and discuss with each other on the big picture. And I want you to brainstorm, and I want at least 5 to 10 ideas of why people, to answer your question, why did they leave England, right? And for you guys, we're talking all of Europe. And I'm going to give you one big clue. One huge clue. Okay? One big clue is this. When the Spaniards came with Columbus, 1492, what is it? You got it. Did women and children come?
No.
It was just men. Okay? When the Dutch came, did women and children come?
Yeah.
No. Still just men.
Amen.
The French, same thing. Just men. The men would come. They would come and find the territory. And we're going to get into, once we understand this, we're going to understand where they landed in the newfound land, meaning the northern colonies, which is where we live, Connecticut, Massachusetts. You guys have all heard of Plymouth Rock? Yes?
Yep.
Okay? Rhode Island. And then you have the southern colonies, where you're going to learn about Jamestown, Virginia. Okay? And then we're really going to get deep into the unit. The unit is about the American Revolution. But first we got to get, how did we get to the American Revolution? Does anybody know who fought in the American Revolution? Michael?
It was America and the British.
America and the British. Or America, and we could say England. Because when we say the British, okay, we'll get into that. It was England, and there was a couple other Ireland that made up the British, okay? But this right here, and we're going to get into, were there people on the land before the people migrated from Europe? Was there anybody on the American land? It may not have been called America, but was there anybody on the land? Who was on the land that you've learned about from first grade to fourth grade? Nico?
Indians.
You got it. The
Native
Indians.
Americans.
The Indians,
The Native
right? Native Americans. Great answer, okay? And you learned about the Native Americans, and you've learned about the different Native Americans, the Native Americans that came from the plains, the East Coast Native Americans, Native Americans that were, which is now Mexico, the Aztec Indians, and the ones that were out west. But there was people on this land. So do you think that those people were happy when people came over?
No, because they had all the land to themselves.
And we talk about Thanksgiving, and we talk about Plymouth Rock, and we talk about the Indians treating us nicely and having like this nice meal. Well, that was one tribe. That was one tribe. The Iroquois. All right? That was one Indian tribe out of thousands. Okay? And when you look at your reasons to answering this question, okay, the Native Americans, they had their beliefs too. Does anybody know what was at least one belief the Native Americans had? One belief the Native Americans had. Not sure? Native Americans believed in the free spirit. They believed in the spirit of the animal. They believed that anything, they were hunters and gatherers, especially in the areas that we're talking about. Okay? They didn't have rifles. They didn't have technology. They didn't have gunpowder. Okay? They traded just like England, Spain is trying to come over here and gain a bigger empire by trading materials to grow and get stronger and get their army stronger. The Native Americans were more of hunters and gatherers in the area that we're going to talk about after this part, which is understanding the 13 colonies and the difference between the North and the South. So right now, I want to see you two collaborate, and you two collaborate, and come up with, I'm going to give you, if I had a sand timer, I would turn the sand timer, flip it over, and you guys have 5 minutes to discuss and put your answer in that envelope. All right, go ahead.
We're writing on a piece of paper, and then we're putting the bullet points. One of them subject. So do you think that you want to leave the question right there? So
Okay, write that down.
from Europe, risk by coming to America.
They risked their lives because they had to sail
Now,
over
what
the
was one
ocean.
thing that I said to you?
So we were
And on the ocean, there were so many illnesses.
They didn't just bring men. Yes. They brought the mothers, the fathers, and children, right? So they brought their whole family. Why would they want to bring their whole family? What do you think was going on in England? Why would they want to leave and take their entire family and risk? Do you think that they were the rich?
No, they're probably poor.
Think about that. That's another one.
Can I see? Oh.
Okay. Now, when I come back, I want to see another one there and brainstorm off of that.
I don't know the eraser. So.
What did people risk?
Wait, I didn't finish though. This.
Chris, I heard that very